It's very possible that many landlords in Lagos State might find themselves in jail. This is because of the new Lagos Tenancy Bill, which states that a landlord is not allowed to collect more than a year's rent from a tenant. If they do, they risk jail time, fine, or maybe even both. Where does this leave the landlord or the real estate investors?
It's another Thursday with your insider lawyer.
Okay, so what's your personal opinion on this bill? Is it good law? Is it bad law? Or is it simply just an unenforceable law?
Okay, so my legal opinion about this whole matter is that I think the new Lagos tenancy law, like I've always said or I've repeatedly said, is a move in the right direction. I mean, having tenants pay for more time than they need, like I said earlier, yearly tenants paying for 2 years upwards, and monthly tenant paying for three, maybe some 6 months or 2 years, or even the same 1 year, off from why being a monthly tenant. I don't think that's actually a nice way to go. So that's why I'm actually giving kudos to Lagos for this new tenancy law that they are trying to promulgate. It's actually a move in the right direction because tenants can actually tailor their rental term as to how they want it. So I'm giving a charge to other state governments, also to take a cue from Lagos State because the economy of Nigeria currently is actually not sustainable for tenants or would-be tenants to be paying 2 years or so for tenancy that they want for 1 year. What if anything comes up along the line? Let's say, for example, you paid for 2 years upfront, and maybe at the end of your tenancy, your landlord is still expecting you to renew for another 2 years to protect his own interest. Then you have emergencies like maybe hospital visits, probably, or for somebody whose wife has just put to bed. Maybe he has been saving his rent towards that, and then the wife put to bed, and there's no other money, only loose cash anywhere for him to actually tap into to solve this kind of emergency. So he takes from his rent and then solves it, and then hopes to maybe pay flexibly, like let's say monthly, or reduce the tenancy to a quarterly base or biannual base. This law allows tenants to actually do these things, but the old laws might not allow tenants to do this. So that's why I think it's a move in the right direction because it is all encompassing. No matter what your financial standing is, there is something for you. So that's my legal opinion about it. Also, if you look at the agency side, there's a part of this law that states that if agents, for any reason, collect rents for landlord, that they are mandated by law to remit such rent to the landlord within 7 days. So this practice is actually widespread in Lagos, where agents collect rent for landlord. Sometimes they aggrandise it for their own personal use. So, but this law is stating that if you receive rent for any landlord as an agent, you're supposed to transmit it back to the landlord within 7 days. Failure to do so, you risk a jail term, maybe of 2 years, and also a fine, or both of them. So that's why I think it favors both sides, both the tenant and the landlord, when I said it is all encompassing. That's my own legal opinion, and I hope you share soon.
Do you think that slashing the agency fee to 5% from 15, 20, or maybe even 30% would work?
Okay, so I think slashing the agency fee from 15, 10%, even as high as 30% to 5% would work. I think it will work. Why I think it will work is that, yes, I know that tenants, when looking for an rental apartment, might be frustrated to some point where they would settle to pay any amount of fees that the agent have asked them to pay because of the stress of looking for apartment to stay. It's crazy. If you've actually looked for a rental apartment where you want to live, you'd understand why tenants pay any amount the agent might ask them to pay. But for me, I think this is exploitation because why on earth would you charge as high as 30% for a rent of a property that does not belong to you? Like, what input do you actually put in as an agent relating to that property? I mean, when there's need for maintenance that's supposed to be handled by the landlord, it's not as if this agent aids the landlord in doing this maintenance by maybe contributing to it or not. When the agent, or sorry, when the tenant encounter problems while living in this apartment, the agent do not even come into the picture. You find that most often than not, the tenant goes straight to the landlord or the property managers and report this issue and get them resolved. The agent is almost never in the picture. So what's the justification for charging that high? So I agree with the Lagos State government that 5% is a good compensation for agents who are involved in this property transactions. You shouldn't exploit from another person's condition. That is my thought about that.
Okay, so do you think that the Lagos state government has the necessary infrastructure to implement this bill, or do you think it's one of those bills that will just fade away?
Okay. While I don't think that the Lagos state has the needed infrastructure to actually deploy this, but I think they are moving towards the right direction. Like I said before, Lagos is the most forward-thinking state in Nigeria that we currently have. Um, that's arguable actually, but then that's my own opinion. So there's this current buzz around Lagos state government developing a portal or a platform where these new tenancy laws will be driven through. So I think they're preparing for that. They're actually building infrastructure. They might not have it currently on ground, but they're building this infrastructure. Which I think the deployment of that infrastructure would not actually be something that is difficult. They just need to get all the stakeholders that will be involved on the table so that the deployment will be seamless. Stakeholders like maybe police to report this kind of incidents, then the police will now enter it maybe through the right channels, or even that portal when it is ready. They should do sensitization to the general populace of the Lagos state, where people can actually go to this portal at the comfort of their homes, lodge such complaints, put in all the necessary information and details that they need to operate under such kind of transaction, and then go ahead with it. So it's a welcome development, and kudos to Lagos for thinking this fast.
So, what advice do you have for Nigerian landlords?
My advice to landlords out there is to embrace PropTech solutions for guaranteeing their ROI when it comes to rental properties. You understand? So, which landlord wouldn't want that peace of mind to go back to their home, relax, and face other businesses when they know that that particular rent or that particular tenant occupying their property, when it gets to that due date for them to receive that rent, they get it paid to them. I know there are various ones, various types of these prop tech companies that offers these kind of solutions out there. Just embrace it today so that you have rest of mind.
The new Lagos Tenancy Bill can be a breath of fresh air. It all depends on how it's being implemented. What are your thoughts on the new Lagos Tenancy Bill? Drop your opinions in the comment section.